This is a response to your essays on the luck of Roaring Camp. There you have a photograph of Bret Harte. It comes from wikipedia.org. And I want to say a word about your titles. Some of the titles were excellent, and your title is an excellent way to bring critical thinking to the discussion. I've mentioned some of them here. These are the ones I liked. A Community Civilized, Not All So Rough, Renaissance at Roaring Camp, With a Little Luck, Mountain Caretakers, Bringing Civilization, New Color to a Dull World, Luck as a Symbol of Spirit, Before Luck Runs Out, A Community Civilized, and my favorite title is Unto Us a Child is Born, and I'll say something about that. I like this title because it underscores the religious theme that is pervasive in the story. As usual, you did an excellent job with the discussion and your responses to the luck of Roaring Camp. Here are some observations. The focus of the response had to be based on the writing prompt, How did Tommy Luck civilize the men? And you did an excellent job with the discussion. You had to make the prompt your claim, and then the body of the essay proves your point. Now, some people did not mention the prompt. The prompt that I give you always becomes the point of your essay. Vladimir Propp states in Functions of Folklore, and this is in your web links, that stories follow certain laws. One of those is the law of contrast, and we see this throughout the Luck of Roaring Camp. The men and the baby, that's the contrast. The men in nature, the men before the baby is born and the men after. The beauty of nature with luck and the destructive power of nature with the floods. You might look at those laws, and one of them that's most prominent in literature is the law of contrast. And you see this all the time in TV shows and movies. The baby has a civilizing influence on the men. One of the first ways that civilization manifests itself is that the men become more democratic. And here's a quote from the story. A resolution to adopt it, the baby, was unanimous and enthusiastic, but an animated discussion in regard to the manner and feasibility of providing for its wants at once sprang up. It was remarkable that the argument partook of none of those fierce personalities with which discussions were usually conducted at Roaring Camp. So already the child has a civilizing influence on the men because they do not have their usual arguing about things. The baby is christened, and for the first time the name of a deity was uttered in the camp. The camp was regenerated. The cabin was cleaned and decorated. All of these things are examples of civilization. There was a greater emphasis on cleanliness. There were decorations and flowers. Men saw beauty where they did not see it before. Even nature was his Luck's nurse and playfellow. But tragically, there is a reversal, and the valley floods, and Luck and Kentuck are killed. Now, this is the biblical theme that runs through the story. This is why I like the title, For Unto Us a Child is Born, because that comes from the Bible, and also Luck is seen as a Christ figure. The story has a strong biblical theme with the men who can be seen as sinners prior to the child being born, but after his miraculous birth, they are redeemed. The men even seem to bring precious gifts to him, just as the wise men bring gifts to Jesus in the Bible. So Luck is seen as a redeeming Christ figure. Many of you pointed this out, and I like the essays that you wrote. You're doing an excellent job with the class. Continue with the good work. I hope this helps with the overview.